Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Hey, I'm going over the Detroit Pistons, some off-season moves that they should make that will make the team better. We're, say, about 4 years into rebuilding of this team. We had some that were unsuccessful for the first few years, but I'm here just to explore options and moves that this team can make to get the Detroit Pistons back to being a respectable team in the, not just the Eastern Conference, but in the NBA as well. So, without any further ado, I'll get started here. One thing I want to note out too is with each one of these videos that I post, I'm going to go over songs that I would like to see the Detroit Pistons use to get the team hyped at the player introductions. And one of the first ones I have is a song by a group called Scan 7, local Detroit artist. Title of the song is The Resistance. I'll leave a link for that in the description, and also at the end of the video I'll leave a description. But I think that'll be one cool hype song for the player intros and whatnot. It's like a new rebirth of the Detroit Pistons. So, but anyway, let's get started with this video here. And I think the salary cap is set for like 121 million or something like that for this upcoming season. So let's see what we can do to get close to that number. First of all, the players that are in from last season roster will be Kay Cunningham, of course, Marvin Bagley III, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Livers, Luka Garza, and Carson Edwards. Those would be the players that, if it was up to me, I would keep going into the 2022-2023 season. As far as this projection or project is concerned here, I'm doing several of these, so this is one, so you'll hear me say something different in each one of these. But yeah, these are the players that I would keep from the roster from last season. We didn't get a full season of Marvin Bagley III to see what he could do. Cade is going to be Cade, of course. Isaiah Stewart, he always has a thumbs up for me as being one of the only players to ever go toe-to-toe and not back down from LeBron James. So he always going to get much respect from me. I'm not going to diss him at all. Sadiq Bey has been consistent. Isaiah Livers didn't play much of the season last year, but when he came onto the roster, he showed a lot of potential. So he's a keeper on this one. Luka Garza, I still think that he has some good years ahead of him. He's a pretty big guy, and I think once he develops into his own on the court, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, just hoping things turn out well for him. He could be our version of, let's say, like Arvydas Sabonis or something like a Rick Mahorn pounding in the paint. So yeah, I'm not going to diss him at all. I just think that once he gets a little more consistency playing at the high level instead of playing in the G League, then we'll see what he really has to offer. Also, Carson Edwards was a late pickup for us at the end of the season, and I think he has a bright future as well as far as being one of the point guards for the Detroit Pistons. And moving on, we'll go to the free agents that we will be signing. One will be Victor Oladipo. I know he had that injury, but he appears to be well now, and I think he could fit in as a most definitely shooting guard here for the Detroit Pistons in the backcourt with Cade Cunningham. Also, Isaiah Thomas. I know he's been bounced around from team to team, but he is a point guard that is proven. He has a lot of experience, and once upon a time, he was one of the top rated point guards in the league before his injury. But he gave his heart and his soul to the Boston Celtics, and I just think that someone should give him an opportunity to play on a roster for a full season, and the Detroit Pistons would be great for him um, to become a Detroit Piston. And if you guys don't know the storyline behind his name, that'll be something too. The way that worked out, that he would come and possibly finish his career with the Detroit Pistons. Also, another free agent that I hate to give up being in the Denver metro area and seeing what he did for us in the short stint that he had with us here as a Nugget is DeMarcus Cousins. Always been a favorite of mine, and always said that he had the attitude and the toughness that fit with the Detroit Pistons. We haven't had a player of that caliber since the days of Dennis Rodman, and most recently the players like Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace. So we always have to have a tough, hard-nosed player on the teams. We've had them on our championship teams all the time, and I think that's one key element that has been missing throughout this whole rebuild. And Blake Griffin showed um, flashes of that, but I just think he got frustrated with the whole situation and the losing and whatnot here. I know a lot of that is to blame on him from some fans' perspectives, but he just got frustrated with everything that was going on. I'd love to have him here with the rebuild, but that's going to be maybe on another part or another series. But yeah, I'm going with DeMarcus Cousins. I say that should be like one of the key top free agents that the Detroit Pistons go after. And lastly, rounding out the free agents will be Carmelo Anthony. The LA Lakers experiment didn't work out, so we'd love to see him come to an up-and-coming team and become a Detroit Piston as well. That would be pretty sweet to have Carmelo Anthony here. Along with DeMarcus Cousins, even if these players don't contribute much, but I do see them coming through in the clutch sometimes, especially Cousins. Just think about the experience and knowledge and tips that they could give to this young roster. You know, Carmelo Anthony working along with Cade Cunningham on his game. Think of how much better he would be. And DeMarcus Cousins working along with our bigs, you know, with Isaiah Stewart, Marvin Bagley, and Luka Garza. Yeah, I mean, it's priceless for the experience and knowledge that they'll be able to share with those young guys on this roster. So, yeah, those are my picks as far as free agency is concerned. Moving on here, we're going to go to I'm going to save the trades for last, but we're going to go on to the draft. And there's several players out there. Like I said, this is just one scenario that I put out there. And with one of our picks, the top pick will be Jabari Smith Jr. out of Auburn University. We all saw what he could do, and I'm going to show you some stats for him as well. He fit in really, really well at the small forward position here with the Detroit Pistons. I wasn't big on him at first, but it depends on what you do with the rest of the Pistons roster that would make this work. So, yeah, I know everyone is big on Paolo Banchero. I am too. But as far as putting the rosters together and making the pieces fit and complement one another with this particular roster, I'll be going with Jabari Smith Jr. With my next pick, we'll go with Tanner Groves, power forward out of Oklahoma. Watched a lot of Oklahoma basketball this season, and he's a beast. He's a beast of a power forward. He has that old school type of play, and I think he would be a great fit for the Detroit Pistons. And moving on with another pick that I would pick in the draft would be Hunter Maldonado out of Wyoming. Watched a few of their games. He's a shooting guard out there, but he's able to create for himself in a way that Cade Cunningham is able to create for himself. So those three would be the picks that I would make in the draft for the Detroit Pistons. Moving on to some of the players that are out, and we have a lot of players that are moving into free agency this off season. So a lot of those guys are not going to be mentioned in some of these videos. And for this one in specific, we look at a trade proposal, a trade that I would like to see that I think would work out, and I think they will go for it as well. And it'll be a trade with Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, Killian Hayes. I hate to see Killian Hayes go, but I do still praying for this guy's success in the league. I think a change of scenery would be good for him, and he could start over. You know, fans have bashed him. You either have fans that either love him or hate him, and I just think it'll be best for him to go somewhere where he can start over and be appreciated. Uh, Saban Lee also will be out, and also all this is one trade package here. Future first round pick and a future second round pick, all going to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga. You guys may say that I'm out of my mind. There's no way that Golden State would go for this, but I believe they would. I believe they would take this trade. Um, they'll be getting pieces there that they could use right away in Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, Killian Hayes, and Saban Lee, and especially for Saban Lee and Killian Hayes. You've seen what their development is able to do with the likes of a Jordan Poole. They turned Jordan Poole into almost an all-star now. You know, and many other guys on that roster. You know, you have a Draymond Green that if you were to go back into the year that he was drafted, there'd be a lot of teams that would choose him now in hindsight. But they just have a way of developing their players out there. Jonathan Kuminga is another example of young players that they develop out there in Golden State. And I think that Hayes and Saban Lee, especially Hayes, would benefit from it as well. And Hayes will get a chance to shine in the limelight of the NBA. But with this particular roster, it puts the Pistons at about $122,982,392 as far as the salary cap is concerned. And I'm rounding out this video here for a lot of these scenarios to work. There has to be some changes with from an executive standpoint, so to speak. So the end of this video, well, right here we go, right here. This is the coaching staff that I would select for this particular roster. Here would be these head coaches. Let me back up a second. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Anyway, I'll get that coming up here shortly as far as the coaching staff is concerned. But as far as the starting lineup for this particular roster, we'll have Cade Cunningham as a starting point guard, Victor Oladipo as a shooting guard, Marvin Bagley III as the center, Andrew Wiggins as the you can have him as the power forward, and then I'll have Sadiq Bey as the small forward. So that will be my starting roster. Will be Cunningham, Oladipo, Bagley III, Wiggins, and Sadiq Bey. Should be able to get a lot done. I mean, you have shooters and scorers and Cade and Victor Oladipo that could create their own shot. Bagley and Wiggins in the paint. I mean, you got some power right there in the paint. It's from rim protection as well. And Sadiq Bey, he'll just do his thing as he's been doing. And as far as the second unit is concerned, would be Isaiah Thomas at the point guard, Hunter Maldonado at the shooting guard. Make sure you look at the highlights on Maldonado, you'd be pleased. DeMarcus Cousins as the center, and Jabari Smith as your small forward, and Tanner Groves as the power forward. Make sure you look at the footage film on him in the links as well. And yeah, and then you know, we got some bench players as well that are going to be reserved. So we'll be having Isaiah Stewart, Livers, Garza, and Edwards come off the bench, and as well as Kuminga, and they'll be able to provide some offensive spark. And as far as the defense is concerned, that'd be a pretty good defensive unit as well. So let me know what you think in the comment section about this particular roster here, how far they would go. And back to the coaches, I would pick Arvydas Sabonis to be the head coach of this team here. I think we need a change. someone that the players can look up to from a career standpoint, and as far as their career accomplishments are concerned, a head coach that either have played in the league or a head coach um, that is an experienced head coach that is known for bringing success to teams. So my pick for this one, like I said, is Arvydas Sabonis as the head coach, and you see the other two assistant coaches there as well. So let me know what you think about this particular roster in the comment section, and make sure you subscribe so you can catch these when they come out. I'll be putting out a few more of these with the Pistons, about 5 or 6 of these with the potential rosters that will work for the Detroit Pistons. And yeah, let me know. You all have a great day. Thanks for listening.